What's up, Maze? So we about to get into this reading. Maze, it's been mentally taxing today. It has been mentally taxing today. Okay. So, you know, when I say it's been mentally taxing, it's like it's been some type of a shift. I feel people letting go. But like my son been under a lot of stress. And I'm just like, hold on. And I'm doing all type of shit to ease his mind. Cause sometimes it be stuff on his mind he don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, son, you gotta speak up. So he's been doing real good in school. And he's in special education, so when it come to his IEP, because he's in high school, um, it's different than being in grammar school or middle school, because he don't get as much help, you know. So it took him his ninth grade year to adjust to the new form of independence, but he liked it. He liked the freedom that high school gives him. So, this boy, he is so funny. He gonna bring me, cause I could tell he been stressed out cause, you know, his grades, his grade in biology, wasn't good. So, he takes that very hard. He takes that very personal. So I'm just like, well, it's okay. How many times have you fail on, like your grades, but you bounce right back? I told him, I said, just relax, stop being so hard on yourself. So biology just been stressing his little brain out. So finally he gonna come to me tomorrow talking about he got a project. So the thing is this boy, it was him and his dad. I'm just sitting here and I'm just watching the wheels just turn in their head. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just like, bro, why is nobody talking? Obviously, both of y'all are stressed out about whatever the fuck is going on, and I don't understand. You know, my son's father, he been stressed out about work and finding a job, but I'm just like, you knew you was gonna find a job. You took off for two. He might have been lying. He might have been faking and perpetrating. He is always doing that. He always trying to make it seem like he got shit under control, that he not worried. But the thing is that he be worried about stuff, but he see I don't be worried. So, he be trying to like keep up with me, but I'm just like, yeah, because there's nothing to worry about. You consciously you consciously said you was going to take 2 months off of work. So I'm thinking that you good. You know what I'm saying? He's been relaxing. Like he hasn't been like stressing, trying to look for a job, this and that. I told him, I said, take time. Take your time. You're in a position to where you could take a couple of months off. A lot of people don't have that privilege. So when you look for something that you want. Look for something that you may enjoy, you know? So, him and baby boy at the same time, I just been noticing. I be sitting there, I be like, what is going on in their brains? Why are they not talking about it? So come to find out, once baby boy come to me and he let it all out, then dad, he happy because he done found a job, so he letting it all out. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you've been sitting up here worried the whole time about a job, But you knew you was gonna get a job. I told you we was gonna be okay. Why the fuck are you stressing out? You know, he don't want to show me that he's stressing out, but I could see the wheels in his head spinning. I'm just like, what is wrong with him? What is he? I thought he was going through stuff with his family, so I'm just like, well, I ain't got shit to do with that. So I've just been ignoring him. But when it comes to the baby boy, you know, he got autism, so I gotta watch him a little closer. You know, so I guess it was his pride. Cause I'm gonna tell you, he had to do a project, and I'm just he gonna lie. I knew he was lying. I said, boy, you is lying. He gonna try to get upset, talking about I ain't lying. So he had a big project to do, and he gonna say his teacher gave it to him the same day. It's due tomorrow. I said, are you serious? I was just like, you got to do all of this in one day? She expects you to do all of this in one day? He was like, yeah. I said, he fucking lying. He been had this. And he knew he was supposed to do it. He's supposed to be working on it at home. But he don't like doing homework. But he know he need that grade for biology. So finally he broke and he just came to me. He tried to lie about it. So he didn't fully understand what was really going on with his project. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to tell me one thing, but when I read the packet, it's another. I said, he don't know what he talking about. So he had to, you know, they watched a movie on zombies. So, you know, they had to create their own zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with an idea for us to create his project. So, you know, I created like a little newscast, you know, with him explaining, you know, all the things about the zombies, the disease, what caused it, where it happened, all this type of stuff. It was so much detail that needed to be put in there. I was like, oh my God. You know, I had a couple of projects I was working on, but I said, damn, he got to turn this in tomorrow. So I had to stop everything I was doing. And I'm talking about that shit took me the whole day. Then I had to work with him, and he is so pessimistic. He kept saying, oh, this shit is so dumb. I don't know why I'm doing this. And I had to coach him the whole way through with doing his report. So with recording him, I had to go in and constantly keep taking shit out and re-editing it. Oh my goodness. So then he was like, I gotta write down the report. But the thing is that he didn't need to write down the report, but that's okay, because maybe she'll give him extra credit. You know, I said, baby, you just need the product. You just need the project. You know, you don't need, you know, the report. You're given the report on the project. So, you know, I was just like, but he was being too hard on himself. He wants to maintain his independence, and he, you know, all the things that he's accomplishing, he, you know, he wants to feel good about that. And especially because Christmas and his birthday coming up. So, you know, when he asks for something, if his dad try to negotiate with him, he could just be like, no, like, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do in school. So, you know, I deserve what I asked for. And that's right. You know, children go through challenges within school. You know, school is pretty much set up to structure and brainwash the children to prepare for the working world. You know, keep them in that structural mindset. You know, so I told his father, I said, it's like him going to work. You see, when he come in from school, he be stressed. When you come in from work, your ass be stressed. You know, pay that man. That man work hard. He want what he want. You gonna give it to him. You know, and my son, my son always come to me because he know mama gonna get it done. He know, because he know I'm gonna talk to his dad. I'm gonna be like, look, you know, you can't do him like that. You know what I'm saying? I said, you can't be talking about what you have and what you don't have. Well, you're going to have to make some sacrifices because he's keeping up his end of the bargain. Neither one of us in school was getting A's and B's, nigga. You know? He got a whole, mental challenge going on. And this brother is up in here busting out A's and B's. You know? His teachers tell me he worked real hard. They see him work real hard. Yeah. You can see the stress on him. Pay that man. Child, he love his materials and he love his money, and he, don't promise him some shit and don't deliver. Oh, baby. Especially after he put in the work for it. So, I mean, I don't know. Somebody may be going through some stuff. It's kind of like a shift came. You're going to start to see, things change for the better. So if you've been going through a rough time, if shit been a little stressful, if it's been trying, it's going to get better. In little ways, you have been seeing it get better, but it's not up to your expectation. Well, sometimes you have to be patient because things are happening behind the scene in your favor and you don't know about it. So, this is where we got to, work on and practice building, the faith. Because my son's father, he be getting mad. He be like, I don't know how the fuck you ain't stressed out. I'd be like, boy, sit your ass down. Sit down. And when we forget where we come, how far we've come, it's not about remembering where you came from, but in being able to remember where you come from, it's not about holding you there. It's about you being able to reflect on the process that you have made throughout your life and the changes, and when you doing stuff, because I told my son's father, I said, how in the world do you think that you're not going to be okay? You taking care of your family, you taking care of the household, you're providing, you're doing what is expected of you. You're not out here in the streets and all this type of dumb shit. Like, you're focused within your life, Whew. So I be telling him, I be like, you need to learn how to chill. Just relax. It's gonna be okay. See, that's when it comes into us building faith within us. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the right thing. So you can't possibly, your intentions, your motives, the life you have been creating, you have been staying focused on doing what you need to do. So why do you think, child? I think it's a man thing. Because baby boy was going through that shit too. I'm just like, like father, like son. I said, because I knew something was going on with his dad. I'm like, why you ain't talking? I kept saying that shit. I've been saying that shit for months now. I'm just like, you have support. You have somebody you can talk to. Whatever is going on in your mind, you need to release it. Then baby boy holding on to this project. He had this project for like 2 weeks. And we had to bust out 2 weeks of planning a project within a couple of hours. His dad was just like, I'm so glad you creative. I said, oh, now you appreciate sister creativity. And he was just like, I'm glad you do content. He said, because he said you wrote that script. He said, you wrote that script like it won't nothing. I said, well, I be having a lot of practice, I work on my stories. And he was just like, you knew exactly how you wanted to do everything. He was real proud of that project. He was trying to intervene, but he is not encouraging. He's like a boss. The boss want to sit there and boss motherfuckers, but he really don't want to do no work. I said, and you got to be careful how you talk to him, because if you get an attitude with him, then he got a point to prove. So he just gonna mess shit up. So I was just like, I said, I got this. You gonna let me do this? I said, let me work with him. I said, because you not patient. You gotta talk. You gotta, sometimes when it come to men, when they real combative, or when they're real like prideful and all that type of stuff, you gotta talk to them. You kind of gotta talk to them soft and nice and gentle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like every little thing that you do or every little thing that you say, they want to debate or argue or try to prove some type of point that don't even fucking matter. Just a waste of time. So I was just like, let me smooth this off real quick, because he need to go. And of course, my son, he ain't understand why we was doing this shit. But I told him, I was just like, I said, you don't understand. When I put it together, you'll understand. So I don't know. It's a woman. She been going through some stuff like that too. I feel like it's another woman out there. I feel like you've been watching me for a while, so you understand what you starting to see a lot of shit that I be talking about. And obviously you're finding solutions. Child, my son broke. And then he gonna tell me the truth the next day. I said, MJ, I said it's 7 days up here as to what you were supposed to be doing. I said, son, don't lie to me. I said you knew you was supposed to been doing working on this. So he gonna pause and look at me. He gonna say, okay, yeah. Woo. I said, mommy can help you. I said, mommy can upgrade you. Like, don't be sleeping on me. I be waiting. I'm trying to tell you, I feel like I just be sitting here waiting. I be waiting for somebody to especially my son. Not necessarily my son's father, because he a grown man. He needs some challenge. But, my son, he take on challenges. His life is a challenge. The way he think is, he's already challenged every day he wakes up. So, I just be sitting there. I'm just like, come on now, let me in. Let me help you. But you gotta be chill too, because I have a tendency to be on his ass, like all up in his business. He like his privacy. He likes his quiet time. He likes to, he enjoys being alone and all that type of stuff. So, he will speak up and say, mom, you're smothering me. You're getting on my nerves, or some shit like that, So then I gotta back off. I be sitting there waiting. I be like, tag me in, baby, tag me in. Yes, sir. I see you. Yeah. I came through in the nick of time. It feeds my superhero complex. I do. I have a problem. I have the superhero complex. So, it does. It feeds my ego. It's kind of like when people need me, or they need me at the last minute, because in all of the superhero movies, it's kind of like the superhero come in the nick of time. And when I saw Aquaman 2, the second one, right? So I was just like, damn, like his woman is always showing up. She always showing up when it look like he done. I be like, damn, I think he about to die. Then all of a sudden, she just pop up out of nowhere and save his ass. I said, oh yeah, she my type of woman. Yes, sir. So anyway, let's get into this reading. We just had to take a few moments out to relate real quick. What are the messages? Where are the messages? Oh. What are the messages? Give us some messages for whomever it may concern. What are the messages? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so we have experience and we have means in reverse. Oh my God, this is very strong Cancer energy. I really don't. It's screaming Cancer. So I have a feeling that is it a Cancer? It's not a Cancer. It's somebody dealing with Cancer. They must have Cancer in their birth chart. Okay, so this is somebody who got Cancer in their birth chart. So, this person, it looked like they've been crashing out. Um, it's trying to give me a sun. You don't have to tell me the sun sign. Don't tell me the sun sign. So, but this person got a lot of Cancer in their birth chart. So the thing is that this person is crashing out, over opportunity that they missed. Okay. So my thing is that um they've missed some type of, this is like their second opportunity. There was a really big opportunity that they missed out on, but then it's kind of like, in between certain cycles, you are given certain opportunities to be able to practice with preparing yourself for a faded opportunity, an opportunity that's truly meant for you. you know um so I mean, this person, they don't practice. It's like they don't know opportunities that, it's like God be opening doors and opportunities for them to do what they're supposed to do, but it's like every opportunity that they get, they always sabotage it. Okay? So, this person is dealing with bizarre circumstances, which means that, they're not in their right mind right now. They're experiencing other people's realities, which means that their mental health is, it has a lot to do with the solar plex. Okay? So, this person is lacking in decision making. They're lacking in confidence. They're lacking in control. They're very scary. They're scared of a lot of things, so the fear is controlling them. So I mean, this person has made a mess out of their life in one way or another. And the thing is that they got other individuals involved. So all of those individuals are experiencing the same things. Okay, but with this person here, this person is in denial about their reality. So therefore, it's like their brain is picking up on other people's reality. So they think that they are living other people's reality. So in a way, it's like they're trying to run away from their life. This is somebody who's very fearful. They don't have the will to live. you know they're very egotistical, very prideful, but so they're fake because they want to display like some type of stoic, but in all actuality, they're it's like a scared little child hiding behind a mask, like a big mask. It's like a puppet. Okay, so maybe, maybe they've been a trickster for a very long time. And I just feel like, the shit is catching up to them. It's like they're in denial. This may have been some type of car accident too that they got into. Maybe they were on their way to some type of opportunity, but it's like they bitched up at the last minute or something. If it's a car accident, then something happened to the car. It don't have to be an accident, but something happened to the car to where they can't just go and do, like whatever. Okay. But I'm picking up on a lot with that person. Um but they missed their opportunity again. That's what I hear again. Somebody is very disappointed. They're just like they did it again. They did it again. So this person is delusional. I mean, we have bizarre circumstances here. It's like they won't just admit that you don't know what the fuck you want to do with your life. You don't have to figure it out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The thing is that, okay, so when I say you don't have to figure it out, you don't have to figure it out right away. You don't have to know right away, because you could be in your 30s and you feel like, you see, you're still in the programming of the masses' expectations of you. So you care a lot about what other people say and what other people think about you. So the thing is that, you would rather keep up face and rather keep up a facade instead of, just living in your truth. You just, that's where the lack of confidence is coming from, because it's kind of like you don't understand. Your life is about you. It's not about other people, and it's not about what other people think about you or say about you. Because I'm going to tell you, people all my life have been trying to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm not supposed to be doing. The moment I stop listening to people and I start listening to myself, then I develop a relationship with God. My life doesn't look ideal to a lot of people, but at the same time, it's kind of like when I have to face challenges with other individuals, everybody has more than me. Everybody is further ahead within their life. But at the end of the day, regardless of my struggles, I know how to create happiness for myself. Other individuals don't, because they depend so much on external things instead of the internal. you know it's kind of like people, it's like life is provided for them, so people don't understand that they're dependent upon everything outside of them. And my thing is, it's nothing wrong with dependency, because there's billions of people in the world. I mean, there's a reason for that. And sometimes you need people, and people want to be of assistance, and sometimes people want to help you. So, it's like you're folding under the pressure of life because you're so worried about how people are going to see you. So until you break out of that illusion of giving a fuck, giving too many fucks about everything except yourself, well, then you're going to continue to live this life. And then it's just like, no matter how much you fake it, you notice how everybody is outgrowing you, and you are still the same, in the same position, doing the same shit. And the thing is that the more people grow, the more they're going to see your bullshit. And some people will say something, some people will not. Some people are going to feel too bad for you to say anything. So they're just going to leave you where you're at. And then this is everybody's moving on. When we talk about creating a life, it's not about building on the inside, right? You first start with creating the life that you want. You want a life that feels good. So you have to feel good within you first. You have to know who you are in order to be able to create externally. Otherwise, you're just out here, you know, pretty much in a video game doing, and the whole world has control over what it is that you're doing. You're in the game, but you're not the one playing the game, right? But you have to know the game in order to be able to switch it up sometimes. So I mean, this person, I feel like they've been up to some shit. Whatever they're going through, I heard that they deserve it. So I mean, whatever. So I mean, they're crashing out. I try to give beautiful words of wisdom. Hopefully motherfuckers hear the shit, you know because with everything that's going on inside that brain, I don't know, you know so I kind of feel like this person wanted to get in the way of an opportunity that was for you. Okay. And the thing is that that's why they were blocked. But even though they were blocked, something ended up happening. It's like because they couldn't come through or they couldn't show up, it's like everything just went to shit anyway. So, this person is very sabotaging. They're very sabotaging. It's people can't have good things around somebody like this. You can't grow, you can't expand, you can't succeed with somebody like this. It's given very selfish. It's given very, I mean, it's the lack of confidence. If an opportunity is being presented to you and somebody else intervenes, it's just like, well, we're adding another piece to the puzzle, and just because you're upset that that piece fits, you're just going to demolish the work of putting the puzzle together. You got to be removed. All right, now. I said it before, she will be removed. So whatever. And the thing is that if there are there are individuals that are attached to her, then they're going to go down with her. A lot of the times, this is when our emotions will trick us up, because it's kind of like, even though you know that this person has a problem, you're not willing to keep it real with their ass. You want to be in their pity party with them. You feel so bad for them. You have so much empathy and sympathy for them, which is toxic. So it's toxic because this is a bad influence. And so you are allowing the bad influence to influence you. Instead of doing the right thing, instead of moving it forward, it's kind of like, well, shit. But at the same time, maybe this person is more in control. So if they're in control and they're making fucked up decisions, well, everybody has to deal with those fucked up decisions. Everybody has to pay the price for that one person's decisions. So this person want to be the head. It's giving me Libra, because sometimes with some Libras, what I've noticed, Libras are supposed to be the boss. They need to be sitting back managing shit. And Libras are really good with numbers. They make really good accountants, So Libra should be Libra should be managing, and Libra should be watching the money. Okay, but sometimes it's kind of like sometimes Libra want to show off a little bit, right? To where Libra is just like, yeah, I can handle this, I can do this. But true to Libra, Libra don't want to do the hard work. Libra don't want to do the hard work. I've seen this so many times in Libras. And my thing is that they'll go hard for that position. They'll go hard to get that position. And they'll keep it up and they'll maintain it as long as they can until they realize, they really want to be having fun. In a uptight position, they can't really socialize the way that they want. They can't really show individuals, who they are. They can't relax. So Libra starts getting, you know, they start getting overwhelmed by the responsibilities and doing this and doing that and having to be here and having to be there. Libra is a fun sign. They like to have fun. So when they start contradicting, it's them scales. It be them goddamn scales. Them scales be you know. So then Libras, they're like, damn, like what did I get myself into? You know. I'm trying to tell you, my son's father be trying to do that shit because it's like, it's like he want to be the boss, right? So I'm just like, okay, you the boss, right? But then it's like he got so much to prove. But then you see how it start affecting his mental health. When it start affecting his mental health, it start affecting his decision making. So then he's frustrated, he's impatient, he's snapping, he's God, you know. Libra is the sign of Venus. It's goddess energy. Rather you're a man, rather you're a woman. You are just more in tune to the beauty of things. Libra's supposed to be, I don't know. It's an easy job. You just supposed to be sitting, being pretty, managing, telling people what to do. And watching the money. You know what I'm saying? I know Libras are some hustlers. But Libras are very controlling too. They're very controlling. So you need to, it needs to be some type of entrepreneur shit going on. And Libra needs to be the boss. And when Libra is in a high position, and the scales are balanced, they're fair. So they will treat people fairly. They will they will treat people fairly. They will make sure situations are fair. So I think this is a Libra with a lot of Cancer in their birth chart. Okay, so just they'll put it back together. They'll put it back together. Just give them time. Because Libras are very sensitive. They sensitive. A lot of them, it's like they always want to be gangsters though. My son's father, I remember when we first got together, when we was actually in love with each other, when we would go places, I would want to hold his hand, and he would be like, no, I don't want to hold your hand. I would be like, what, are you embarrassed to be seen with me or something like that? He was like, I want to look gangster. And he was serious. I thought he was playing. He was serious about that. He was serious. So, so I was just like, okay, whatever. But I've noticed that in a lot of Libras, like they do have like this gangster side to them. But at the same time, you supposed to use the gangster to protect the beauty, to protect your innocence, you know? I've studied Libra children. They're some of the most beautiful, intelligent children. But it's like once the world gets to them, once they start going through a whole bunch of emotional disappointments, and God forbid that their parents, are the ones that are fucking with, that are not good to them. It's like Libra, it's like they never be the same. And then they just start adapting to everything around them instead of being them. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio is the same way because Scorpio is very empathic. So Scorpio is a very soft and sensitive, and they're very authentic as children. But once people start making them feel like they're not good enough, once people start putting expectations on them, once people start telling them who and how to be, and making Scorpio feel like they're not good enough, that's when Scorpios start turning dark. Libra is the same way. You have to accept that the world is fucked up, and you don't have to be fucked up with it, but study how fucked up shit is without being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? This is how you maintain. You got to have, your boundaries. This is how you maintain to stay within who you are, you know, instead of being influenced out here. And, because the thing is, people see the beauty, people see your beauty. It's like people can see it more than you can. And it don't matter if it's light, it don't matter if it's dark, people see it. Libra is a sensual sign. It is a cardinal. So cardinals are the pioneers. So Cancer is cardinal, Capricorn is cardinal, Libra is cardinal, and Aries. You must remember that you are the trendsetter. But you cannot change shit if you're trying to be, you cannot change the world if you're trying to be like it. You know what I'm saying? And then with the trends that you set, is it healthy or is it toxic? You know what I'm saying? Because you have the gift of influence, this is a way as to how you are creating how the world responds to you. Okay. Okay. So just give that person some time. So if you're dealing with a Libra and they got a lot of Cancer in their birth chart, just give them some time. You know, it's okay to cry, Libra. It's okay to cry. Purge that toxicity. Because a lot of the times people want to be angry, but you're not really angry. You're sad. It's just the anger comes first. And, then the sadness and the regret comes. Just get it out of you. You don't deserve to hold on to those toxic, nasty ass feelings. You are too beautiful for that. So purge it. Get it out of you. Ooh, I don't know who the fuck need to hear that. It's chills. It chills going through my body. Okay. All right. So who this reading is for? You have reason in reverse. Is this the Libra? Right. They can be very unreasonable sometimes. I leave him alone. I just walk. I just find something else to do. When he in here acting crazy, I go to the beach. I go to my garage. I'll go for a drive. I'll go to the library. I'll take myself out to eat. because it's nothing that you can do with somebody who's being unreasonable, because most of the times they don't know that they're being that way, or they just really don't care. So, there's a lot of things mentally going on in here is what I see. So this Libra is projecting, so I think that they're trying to blame you for something. Libra is trying to blame you for something, but they're upset and they're frustrated because I feel like they tried to tell a lie, but the lie backfired, or either they know that the lie is not going to stick. This person is in denial because they want to compare themselves to you. They want to say that the two of you are the same. The two of you are not the same. Okay? So, this person is projecting a lot of fear, okay, into your mental state. All right, which means that it's like Libra is afraid to fail, but they don't want to be alone in how they feel. So they want you to think like, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to happen. This is and that. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep going. Up. Look at that. It's time for Libra to be in them love vibes. What's going on? Trying to be too gangster. That's what it is. Libras are very sensual. Stop holding yourself back. There have been a lot of changes that has been happening coming into this person's life, because God is trying to get this person ready for love. Not, it doesn't have to be a romantic love. It could be a universal love, some type of embrace. And the thing is that the embrace is going to be big. So in order to be able to receive the big embrace of love, you know, you have to adapt to certain changes, because God is clearing out things to make space for new things to come in. Okay, so maybe Libra is going through a transformation. So this is the breakdown. You got to have the breakdown to go to get to the breakthrough. Okay, so it's a lot of mental things. I believe that Libra has some people hating on them too, and Libra is picking it up. So this person is very intuitive, but it's kind of like they don't know that they are intuitive. Okay, so there are things going on with their thoughts. Okay, they're not thinking clearly. So let's tell this person, you have great things to look forward to. Love is coming in a way that you have not felt, you have not seen before. I'm pretty sure you've been through a lot of people criticizing you. You've been through a lot of people talking about you. You've been through a lot of betrayals, backstabs, the humiliation of things, all of that. Well, that time is over, because during all of your challenges, you have been able to prevail. You cannot possibly think that you're not going to get what you deserve after the hard work that you put in. You cannot possibly think that, right? So the thing is that the love that's coming into your life is going to be overwhelming. So you have to be prepared for it, because if you're not prepared to receive it, then you're going to be triggered by it. You're going to misunderstand. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be very negative, very pessimistic. You've been putting out that you want love, but you're not even ready for it, right? So you have to get yourself together. It's time to get you together. Whoever you're dealing with, if you're around people, it's time to isolate yourself from people. If you have good, supportive people, then you need to surround yourself around those people. You do not you see, you may be being impatient because things are not happening the way that you want them to. You're being too controlling. Just relax. Just relax. You know, you don't know what you deserve because you've been working. You know what I'm saying? You haven't had time to reflect on how far you've come within who you are and in your life, you know? So you don't see it. But intuitively, you're picking up on everybody's, their hate towards you. Motherfuckers is hating on you. They jealous. You don't see it. Maybe because you want to be liked. Maybe because you want to be accepted. You know, that timeline is over for you. That timeline is over. You've entered into a new timeline, but you're bringing the old baggage, right? So if this has something to do with a relationship, you know, God is going to send you somebody, but the thing is that, if I bring you somebody new and fresh, what you deserve, what you want, and you're bringing all of this past baggage to this person, you're not going to see the blessing. You're going to fuck it up anyway. I don't want you to fuck it up. So I'm creating certain obstacle courses in your life to help wake you up and to help you to get moving and keep moving. All right, now, hold on. Okay. Now, who this reading is for, I feel like this person is important to you. So that's why I just kind of had to go in with helping you to understand what this person is going through. I don't know. I don't know if y'all in a relationship. I don't know if this is a family member, this is a friend, but it's going to require more patience from you in dealing with this situation. But it looked like somebody quit. Okay, they had no choice but to stop doing what they was doing. When it comes to you, this person is keeping you in your head, making you feel like you're going to fail at something. I don't know if they're being malicious or what, but they going through their own shit. I don't think that they trying to be malicious. Okay, with this situation, with dealing with this person, this is supposed to be practice for you. Okay, practice for you for what? I don't know. Maybe with dealing with conflict with people in your relationships, because I pick up Gemini here. I don't know why I pick up Gemini. So, the Eight of Swords is Gemini. Then the Angel of Science is giving me Gemini. So, Libra and Gemini are pretty compatible, but they make really good friends, But because they're very lighthearted people, it's easier to be in love with somebody that you have a friendship with first. But Libra is sensual. And Libra is a cardinal. So Libra wants the romance. Sometimes Gemini is not, Gemini is not always there. And sometimes Gemini can be extreme to the point to where it dissipates Libra. But anyway, because I don't know, I don't want to be sitting up here talking about something romantic and this is like a family member or a friend or something. But so I feel like the bigger picture of this whole situation is friendship. How to be better friends, understanding that love is universal. So being able to perceive that person in different roles will help you. That person may be a grown man or woman, and they may be a friend or a family member, right? But at the same time, if they're going through things, you got to think to yourself, if that was my dad, if that was my mom, how would I want to support them at this time through them going through this very dark period? I told you it's the bad, the good, and the ugly. You know, people want to run away when they're not getting those feel good feelings. Fuck all that, because that's not real. And people are not feeling good all the time. People go through things. So this person is going through a dark transformation, and they need some help. They need some support. They need somebody to help anchor them. Okay? Because I guarantee they're feeling crazy. They're doing things, they may be saying things, and they can't understand. So they may be very afraid. Okay? So this person is your obstacle course, is your practice. Okay? How to be a better friend, family member, lover, mother, father, whatever. Okay? You do have assistance here. You have the angel of science. So there is an angel around you that is helping you with certain ideas as to how to deal with this situation. So you have support and you have help. You're not alone. You're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. It is an illusion. It is a fear, right? So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this and we're just going to throw it out. We're not going to give it to anybody. We're just going to throw it out, right? So now we're going to put you in the headspace of the angel of painting. Okay? So now you have two angels. You have a personal angel working with you, communicating with you. Then you have an external angel that is helping you to deal with the situation with dealing with this outside person. Okay? So we're going to end it with the child of poetry, which is some type of an offer. Okay? Now, this card is, I found them blind and I taught them how to see. So you have everything that you need to be able to handle a challenging situation. Okay? It doesn't matter what the circumstances are or what they look like. You are enough. All that is needed is you. And you have a lot of assistance and guidance. Okay? So, yes, it is challenging. You may have to teach, you got to teach somebody something. This is you teaching yourself. Okay, so you're working with your inner teacher. Okay. Wow. What a mouthful. Okay. So through experiencing somebody else and a situation on the outside of you, and other things maybe that somebody else has going on in their life, sometimes when people are going through things, it's not for you to feel bad for them. It's for you to remember how good you got it, right? So you say, I feel bad, I'm upset that that person is going through what they're going through, but I am grateful in this moment right now that, you know, my situation is this and I have this and I have that. And in remembering your gratitude, it puts you in a better headspace to be able to support somebody else while they're going through their dark time. Okay, so you may be the type of person to where when people are going through things, you're just like, I can't do I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this, like something wrong with that person, something this and something that. You know? You know? Be grateful for this person because this person is going to help grow you. Okay? So whatever challenges in which that you face at this time, remember it's working for you, not against you. Stay optimistic. Even when it comes to this person that you're dealing with, it's not as bad as it seems. It's just they're in it. They're in the storm. So they think that it's bad. You know, you are learning how to be in the eye of the storm and untouchable. So this is catalytic because if people can see you stabilized during times of chaos and hard times, you're like that lighthouse. You're like that beacon of hope for them because they're sitting there caught up in the whirlwind and they're looking at you like, well, how are you down there? How are you stable? How are you? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that you can't pull them out of the storm. You have to wait until they reach out to you. Do not help somebody who don't want to be helped. Okay? Because what's going to happen is that they're going to pull you into that storm. That's not your business. That is not your storm to get caught up in. You know? They need you. So they need to reach out. And, they need to be okay with reaching out. That's probably why I told all my business early about my son's father and my son. I told you, baby, we all going through the same shit. It just looked different, you know? But that's going to be the reading. So until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.